The war didn't pause. Trump and Putin just rewrote the rules while Zelensky watched from the sidelines. That single sentence is already sparking fiery debates from Kyiv coffee shops to Capitol Hill conference rooms. But here's where it gets controversial. After a marathon closed-door summit in Anchorage, Alaska, President Donald Trump emerged shoulder to shoulder with Vladimir Putin and declared the meeting very productive, yet produced zero promise of a ceasefire. Instead, the two leaders agreed that a full-blown peace treaty, not a fragile pause in shooting, is the only path forward. Critics call it bold diplomacy. Ukraine calls it a diplomatic ambush. Let's unpack what actually happened, why it matters, and why Monday's hastily scheduled Oval Office sit-down with Volodymyr Zelensky could be the most consequential 60 minutes of the war so far. 1. The Anchorage Summit. High stakes, low yield. Setting the scene. On August 15, 2025, Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson became the unlikely epicenter of global power politics. Cameras captured handshakes, but no Ukrainian flag was in sight. Zelensky was pointedly not invited. Trump's takeaway. In a late-night Truth Social post, the U.S. president wrote, "It was determined by all that the best way to end the horrific war is to go directly to a peace agreement." Translation: no ceasefire, no interim pause, straight to final status talks, exactly the opposite of what European allies and Kyiv had pleaded for. Putin's victory lap. The Kremlin released a statement calling the conversation frank and meaningful, while Russian Senator Andrei Klishas crowed that a new European and international security architecture is on the agenda and everyone must accept it. If that sounds like Moscow dictating terms, you're not alone in hearing it that way. Why skipping the ceasefire is a lightning rod. The European backlash. Within hours, a joint communiqué from EU and NATO leaders insisted that President Zelensky must be at any future negotiating table, and that territorial decisions belong solely to Ukraine. Diplomatic speak for back off Moscow, and Washington, don't forget whose country is being invaded. The fear factor. Without an immediate halt to hostilities, Russian artillery keeps pounding Donetsk and Kharkiv, and Ukrainian troops remain on the defensive. Every extra day of fighting means more casualties, more shattered towns, and more leverage for Putin. The Trump-Putin optics. Analysts worry the summit signals a tilt toward Kremlin priorities. When the world's most powerful democracy and its chief adversary hash out a future map of Europe without the nation actually fighting the war, alarm bells ring from Warsaw to London. 3. Zelensky's countermove. A Monday meeting that could make or break support. The invitation. Zelensky announced on Telegram that he will discuss all the details regarding ending the killings and the war with Trump in Washington. The Ukrainian president's tone was measured, but the subtext was clear. Kiev needs guarantees, not photo ops. The stakes. If Trump uses the Oval Office encounter to pressure Zelensky into concessions, say, ceding occupied regions or delaying NATO membership, he risks fracturing the Western alliance. Conversely, if Zelensky walks out with ironclad U.S. security pledges, Putin may rethink his battlefield calculus. The scheduling chess game. Trump hinted that, if all works out, a follow-up summit with Putin could be arranged. That dangling carrot keeps Moscow engaged, yet also leaves Ukraine wondering whether its fate is being bartered over backroom cigars. The controversial interpretation you're not hearing on cable news. Some foreign policy realists argue that bypassing a ceasefire is actually shrewd. Temporary truces often freeze front lines, reward the aggressor, and allow Russia to rearm. By insisting on a comprehensive treaty, Trump may be forcing both sides to confront the hard compromises they've long avoided. But critics fire back. Without a ceasefire, civilians keep dying while diplomats debate commas. Which side of that argument do you land on? 5. What happens next? and why you should care. Monday's meeting. Expect Zelensky to arrive with a detailed proposal, perhaps a phased withdrawal, tied to security guarantees and reconstruction funds. Watch for Trump's body language. A warm handshake versus a stern lecture will telegraph U.S. intentions. European reaction. France, Germany, and the UK are already drafting contingency sanctions should Russia escalate. If Washington appears to waver, Brussels could step in with its own peace framework, splitting the West into competing tracks. Public pressure. Polls show Americans are weary of open-ended aid, yet images of bombed Ukrainian schools still sway opinion. Trump's base wants America first, but will they stomach a deal that looks like capitulation? 6. Your turn. Sound off below. Bold question time. Is Trump a pragmatic dealmaker preventing endless war? Or is he handing Putin the pen to redraw Europe's borders? Could skipping a ceasefire actually shorten the conflict? Or is it a green light for more bloodshed? Drop your hottest take in the comments. Agree, disagree, or offer a third path. The loudest, most thoughtful voices might just shape tomorrow's headlines. One thing is certain. When Zelensky steps into the Oval Office on Monday, he won't just be carrying briefing books. He'll be carrying the hopes of millions who want the shooting to stop. Whether Washington listens could define the next decade of global security. Stay tuned. The next plot twist is only 48 hours away.